any soft skills trainer and wabeke ensa ene anopo personal development coach no na chese wo ye de
but as I mentioned what you
for also
you can say personal development coach and as a self development coach I think say a bit take from football perspective we share football agrupamano so no players no bet me achieve goals and also target so many so they need a coach and you know say here coach on the field of play no so as soon as braboma so any public may effective on various areas of his life ayana here not only mentors but here coach.
What's the difference? Mentor and a coach.
A mentor is somebody that you look up to.
Okay.
But of course, a coach here, you have some close relationship at least you go through trainings and then only what you need at the time, you know, depending on the target that you want to achieve, you know. So offer that personal training so that you can be very effective.
Coach, you know,
that is it. Yes, you have your relationship. But mentor, they meet me and for me a mentor
from afar.
I may not have personal relationship with you.
Most say personal the concept of self-development in the context of national development. And how do we achieve this?
Good. Ushe sisi na onse utie African narrative. And as a Oba Ghana Krana, most of the time you can't development agenda. Ayana efa baby no. Akujina the leadership and the governance structure, which I feel say is very good, because leadership and only governance, you know, create the appropriate framework for the national development. But as a self-development coach, your argument is say abide the name of Guakwemu said they are individually, you know, personally, you don't have wangasa or life trajectory planner. There is no way you can achieve whatever you want to achieve, because Ankwan Krebiano. Ubia wo niswadi hunu ewa brabom you sure say DJ Wutuwe the next 5 years or plans as our plan anya buy a draw out and your mom in a draw out wangasa as a person you have things that you feel that you want to achieve at a personal level, but the argument is why is it that all personal development, you know, all relegated entirely to the government? So whilst we are admonishing that the government will put proper structures in place, you know, for free the micro perspective, because we feel that whatever we are experiencing as a nation, you know, is an aggregation of what we are doing at the individual level. So if you want to get national change, whilst we encourage the leaders to put in proper structures, you know, we must also look at the bottom-up approach by empowering people to become personally responsible, not only relegating or more BBI into the hands of the government. That is what we are trying to talk about.
In the young crown, you may dear decisions, exactly.
It's not only hand in hand. You know, the government was a binding Indian, but the point in say, yes, ubisa by no leaders ni swadi hunuma o minor, leaders ni swadi hunuma o minor, and on plani. Of course, I agree. Now let's leave the leaders and come to Wona Wakasano.
Yes.
O next 10 years of plans, you say. And near my bay now would you go personally, what investments are you making in yourself for your development? At the end of all the way, I will say
but question you may show so she will BCC and now hey on next 5 years of plans here.
You just ask
at a point obey Jinaho. I was say Nansana.
That's it.
Why Uncle for arguing master so personal development. I was say your money here and pa ne yankasi etimi develop him. More center be an ABS be very keen when it comes to this personal development issues and self development. For now, my consultancy firm has been basically into human capital development. Now, over the years, you know, Afena yebe introduce the self and as a personal development project because we feel say there are a lot of programs that we need to start running in addition to various institutional programs whether educational system what your consultancy is seeking to do is you want to create that platform and until you launch your project, you know, and then after the launch, you know, we will introduce the various programs that we have, and then you'll be rolling out for the next 10 years. But this personal development as a self-development team, to what extent can you say your culture, your upbringing, contribute to its shape or form. And fan says, "Ne wish ya Ghana ni babuna wesi so now busan say what the next 10 years or plans for yourself yes and when to me and can't does our culture, our upbringing have a role to play in this?"
I think so you've hit the nail right on the head. When you say your orientation, a brebiano, the way you see life determines how you experience it, you know. And that's what they say, that if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change.
Okay.
And truly, on say first education, school, no, first description, you can say describe yourself.
Yes.
Ube say enema ube kan fa hu nyina no. External things, within Okala, Omami, hometown, the game you like best, the food you like best.
Yes.
But take time. So you see that from the word go, describing yourself, they are two external names.
Yes. You never said anything about your emotions.
You never said anything about yourself, your mental orientation, your emotional disposition. There's nothing that you say about yourself. And you see, sir, from the word go, the self is predicated on the external environment. Into any and maybe I am causing or external environment biano now at disempower. We feel that there is nothing that cannot be done. And don't say we are raised to become dependent on the external environment. And I'm talking about governance structure, family structure, and and what we feel, they say it's about time. We need to look at that reorientation. So now, yes, the environment now, it is never going to be okay. From time immemorial, no external environment will be perfect for you to rise. It is never going to be so. Whether it's leadership, whether it's economic, the world has been battling with economic issues, has been battling with political issues since time immemorial. In Chada, the world will continuously face problems. There is never going to be a perfect environment for each and every one. All the challenges you see, it is there to draw your creative energies. But again, the way I want to know, and so we have been raised to complain instead of trying to find a way of looking at solutions. Yesterday I was saying, yes, we know that we have issues with our leadership. Can you imagine, we have about 100 or maybe 200 young Ghanaians. Instead of resort to social media insults, now we are going to find policy alternatives and policy options. We are going to be embarking on, developmental research to see, maybe in our own hands, and then come out with some policy direction. We will go into certain negotiation tables with the government. What do you think is going to be? Because most times, organizations, those at the top level, they might not necessarily be knowing what is exactly going on the ground. And I think in history of one of the top companies in the world, I think they were going through a serious struggle, and the company was losing its sales. And consultants, their focus was on the top level management. Until one consultant said, even the security man, even the lower level staff, we need to involve them in the strategic planning process. Once they were involved, the company was able to come out of the struggles. And we feel this is a time for the youth not only to be taking their complaining disposition and always that disrespectful, that attitude, insulting the leaders. Let's sit down. That this is where we are now. This is our challenge. We need to create that ecosystem, and that we can also start rewriting the narrative without churning so much negative energies of the challenges that we are seeing.
Life and what happens to us, who we become, or is it by chance or you're planning? Do we plan it? Can I sit here and tell myself, say, Kwabene Japan, and then me frontline or Rainbow Radio Sui. Before we to the next 5 years, I'm expecting said me be see her. The next 10 years, said me drew her. Or I mean, so life and who we become, is it something we really plan? And I say it happens by divine interventions and other means.
Very interesting question. Very, very interesting question. I'm very happy with the way you are bringing out the question. You see, when it comes to God and religion, I think that in Africa we have issues, and now I think that the awareness neighbor, you see, God is not responsible for where you are now.
God is not responsible for where you are now.
Why is he going to be responsible?
Okay.
Because if he is responsible for Adiebi Ayatoa, then why can you judge you after death? If he is causing all things to happen to you, why is he going to judge you after death? So if you talk about judgment, if you talk about accountability of life, you cannot talk about accountability and ignore responsibility. It's not true.
And this is at the personal level.
That is it. And because you are here, because you decided to be here. God has already given us the provision. Wama the brain. It's in Suaetoi. Already oton so say embegu asase so enfe duane mra.
And nourish asase.
One can't say enya udreni system emekun. He didn't tell you that. Say so na duane ba no. Eno one na ekoso flat na eku amanfo. He did not say that the range will come and kill people.
No.
It is a unim nyansa na say unyo drainage system. Na be to ball agu nsuom. Na be choke, na be flood ya. You can't give it to God. And so when it comes to taking charge over your life, the first thing is you should understand, say yes, and the amount, he's already giving you everything, all the resources you need, or the amount. So say so he's giving us everything. And the brain, say and on one case the creative energies that we should take charge. And so if he didn't know say we were going to make phones, and so no, I provided phones in our assassin. He didn't know we were going to make these microphones, but thousands of or eons of years. No, the name assassin. So I always say that even in the next 50,000 years, all the things that we will ever need, only they were provided.
Oh, dada.
Yours is to discover, but of course you cannot also find what he has put there without building close relationship with him. And so your relationship with God should not make you irresponsible, but rather Enock also be responsible to find out what God has given to you. Because the first mandate or be fruitful, multiply, subdue the earth, and have dominion. That is the commandment of man. So anybody who is not fruitful, who is not subduing, who is not having dominion, is against the universal principle of God. That is the highest order of sin. For you to be wasteful, for you to be unproductive, for you to be, clueless, and that is the highest form of sin. So we pay attention to Niamana, a disempower, any friend is sin. Of course, if you are drinking, you are neutralizing the creative energy. If you are messing up, you are neutralizing the creative energy. Those are symptoms of what our corrupt nature. But the Nipati say we are here, and that we are here to create. The other time I was saying that the heavens represent the creative energy. The earth represents the productive energy. The heavens does not produce. Tina Jesus says our Father. So our Father in heaven does not mean a male personality. He's talking about a certain energy which is creative. And then when we talk of the Mother Earth, it is also productive energy because it's assassin the produce to feed us. When we die, we will go back to the earth. So that tells us that every human being, you have both creative and productive energy. Companies that are even successful, they are those that are able to create and produce at the same time. When you create and you are not able to produce, it's useless. And there can never be production without creativity. And it is very important that we need to switch to this. When you have this mentality, everything you see, it's a solution. When we're creating aeroplane, we creating ozone layer problem. Every generation will make their own mistakes, but the mistakes should not be intentional. It has to be natural. No matter how good we are, even at the tail end of our goodness, there is some evil attached to it for the next generation to come and solve. When we see problem,
very profound.
It is for the next chemical engineers to develop chemicals to clean it. And partner with the Ministry of Water Resources to find solution. And so I say, it's an opportunity for us to rise up, not only just complaining. Because also complaining, you dissipate your energy. The moment you start churning your energies on negative things around, you send signals to every fiber, every aspect of your body, and it shuts your God nature down. You can never rise. And you will complain and complain and complain and complain till you die. And we want people to understand that, yes, we understand that there are leadership challenges. There are systemic failures, but Ghana is a growing economy. It's a growing country. And then what we are exhibiting is natural because compare Ghana to Europe, you were far back. And once we start these conversations at the personal level, I think that it would be more empowering than complaining.
All right, Enock Owusu Amponsah in Kano, where your personal development coach. First time I any nation, na me sure say Brano Brand, any mediation. Yes, one time man can And I said you're tired.
Oh, this time after the launch, I'll be here for
You'll be here for a while. Okay. And you better it you. You better it you. Pa now or your consulting leading so our charters forum. In fact, they are very keen about personal development.
Right.
Moi, mon fa, ya ka personal development. You fufu abidi amen kwa na kase ne mami no and Ambassador Technology. Emma wanted here, I was said you install CCTV camera mu configuration, any operation mu or chow access control system, through the alarm system, electric fence system, anafino, the AKP, watchow Ambassador Technology, NTA, Yamiad more chna class ever course Ambassador Technology, the only CCTV training center Wagana ha, MVTI, Ajiwamwa to me, where MVTI registered center. Ultimate MVTI exam senior MVTI certificate now if you know the tour a year wabra bosso and as a woman so may come for Ambassador Technology a man or person choose Ambassador Technology or for baba maybe with you man and ambassador no kusubi said ye CCTV camera installation configuration operation access control system through the alarm system electric fence installation configuration any operation forms no a 100 Ghana cedis program nina 1,500 Ghana cedis per ana ubetua ya no so tools nyina eka ho Kopokuase opposite the police station Ambassador Technology office wana kokomlemle ATTC achiri wa NVTI school no wo ho no okwa also pe CCTV forms ni bi ato ubenya bi no ato frɛ 0559 707 456 0559 707 456 and 0275 034427 nani woman in coma and a scientific and alternative medical hospital yeah homeopathy naturopathy reflexology physiotherapy any herbal treatment or condition or say a wall swatcher na fi na wow say diabetes hypertension stroke hepatitis I want my prostate mu hampa for any amen scientific herbal and alternative medical hospital nkran ha or dome or ben snet flat no lashibin so or klagon so or lashibi ashama kwan so ben under bridge free 0207 229505 0207 229505 and 0244 227192 nane amen entwetwe nkomo ene a no pe yi na wonso ekwaje wayaresa Namal Estate and Constructions Limited wonsa se no ewo amasama dodo wa kaso teacher mante denchira kotoku fanchene kochopoli afienya na ma ashase ye ni promotion no wuto asase a oma blocks and cemented ya ka ho ewo na so ye na ma be yonkrata nyina ka ho de amodo tena ka mu koba wo bra wuntua hwe ne office no wo abiase amasama abiase junction oni Ebenezer Block Factory ne di hwe animu ko na onso koje wasase na enjoy promotion yebi eye 020 50 51 525 020 50 51 525 and 059 86 53 999 openi ya nwansa na ye bekono me mbusa na afi wi ana mayen de odi betwa to amayen na afi no yenko our level of assertiveness and our level of timidity to what extent na sa me in way contribute to self development.
I think said you can share the African over the years we are not able to have what we call that internal locus of control. We feel that we should always be at the receiving end.
Okay.
And that is where Cecilia made say there is this awakening, as you rightly said. So you journey mama and said things we don't have control, but
yes,
Nyame boy, he gave us the power to have control.
But yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'll be right. Highly religious people, we believe in the hand of God in our affairs. We say there's destiny. There better be a predestined. You have no control over it, and that kind of environment.
No. You see, being religious is different from being spiritual.
Okay.
And I think religion is now. You see, let me say it's suffer because a lot of people, most of the youth are going to attack. Because that's what Jesus, even when he came, he had a problem with religious sects of his day. Because the emphasis on spiritual principles rather because as I see you can never fully explore yourself without being spiritual.
Okay.
But in our bid to build our spiritual life, we try to resort to religion. And of course, religion itself has its own issue because a whole lot of denominalism. For me, I say that when we say spirituality, it's all about recognize and say you are coming from a source, and that source is God.
And the assertiveness
fantastic. So being assertive is, I think, say. It will take time, and we need to look at some of these institutions. And now, what passion? Our consultants and our passion is within the next 5 years. We want to be looking at building what we call the first center for mind development.
The first center for mind development.
That's it. Wow. That's what we are looking forward, because everything that happens to us is targeted at our mind. And don't say now we are doing radio program.
Yes.
Education program, church program, so and so program, TV program. So it tells you that we are being programmed on a daily basis. So if what goes into you is what is going to come out of you, and we don't like what we are experiencing, then we need to go back to the software and see how we can address how we have been. So I think that a lot has to be done at the mental level, so that we can exert that control over life without relegating it to others.
So the launch, your final words, and
yes. And so as I've stated earlier, China Accra Digital Center, you're launching the self-development project.
Self-development project
for national impact. So we want to see yourself. Everybody should see themselves as your project. And so when you see yourself as a project, you have to constantly work on yourself. Every day is an opportunity for you to work on yourself. It's going to be as a result of who you become. So whatever you are having now is because you become a journalist. You become a radio presenter. So everything that is coming to you is coming to you because of who you have become. And so the more you work on yourself, the more you get what you need to get. So that is why we are saying that self-development project is very key for national impact.
Time.
So the time is 10 o'clock in the morning. Accra
Digital Center.
Right after VIP. So we'll be there 10 to 1. You have the lunch.
All right. Enock Owusu Amponsah. But we will have you again, definitely.
I'm around.
We will need to continue on this tangent. Now, self-development. The investment you make in yourself, in diploma level, no being so invest in PhD and as a master's level, and you expect to have the same scale of life, and it doesn't work like that.
Exactly.
That's it. Enock Owusu Amponsah. Otenenka anopaye meba konjira ba na afie ne yedi nkomo
tentem santi and am said there be meko check up bi wo Kumasi meko omo check me am say me BP wo soro pa me yenya pressure omo ko fa eduro ma me pressure eduro no mo de ma me anapa na me te radio